Our chief support on Saturday night, one of your own kids, Zan Zakian, has got a challenge for the European Bantamweight Championship. How much do you know about his opponent, and what would it mean to you to have two European champions?
It would be brilliant to have two European champions. I mean, Sergei's WBC #1, so I mean he could be fighting for the vacant title very, very soon. Zanet's already fifth in the WBC, so if he can lift this European crown, which I believe he will do, he could go to number two or maybe even #1 as well, So no, it's very, very pleasing. I think it's going to be a very, very tough fight. Garifi is very, very talented. He can box on the move. In the majority of his fights, he's boxed on the move. And can punch with both hands and moves in and out. Very good with his feet. But when he took the title from Jamoy with a knockout, he stood right in front of him and had it out. So we're prepared. Zanet, for if Garifi moves, we're prepared for him. If he does want to stand and trade. But Zanet is an animal of a bantamweight. He's immensely strong for 8 stone 6. I've even been sparring with him myself. He's immensely strong, and he's added a lot more attributes to his game now. When he first come down, he was very, upright, straight back. What you see is what you get. But he's had a little bit more finesse to his game now, and the key is he's a very, very hard man, and I think they're both going to have to go through the pain barrier at times with it. But I think Garifi will break before Zanet.
I mean, Garifi's said this week, he said it to me, that one of his intentions for this fight is to show you what he can do. What have you made of that?
Well, he's obviously very, very confident, and the footage I've been studying of him on YouTube, he certainly looks very, very confident. So. Yeah, he's definitely not shy. So, but no, I can watch the videos. I can only give my opinion on him. I think with working with Zanet, with sparring with Zanet, and after watching all the tapes, I think Zanet will have to go through some scary moments. But I think he'll be too tough and too strong. Whether Garifi comes and has a war with him, or whether he boxes on the move and Zanet's got to catch him, I think he'll find the answers, and I do. Yeah.
Now, Garifi, as you said, he's beat Stefan Jamoy. That was an upset in Belgium. Jamoy's actually still got a world title shot coming up. So does that suggest to you that win this fight, next fight for Zanet could potentially be a world title?
Absolutely. He's already 5 already. So he's ranked 5 by the WBC. So he's in line for a possible world title shot already. He wins this European title. The WBC always hold the European title in very such high esteem. So he could go to #2. He could go to #1. If he beats the fella that's beat Jamoy, he's right in the mix, isn't he? And he's improved. It's the best training camp he's had with me, to be honest with you. It's amazing how it's like he's programmed. You tell him something and he doesn't forget it. He comes in every day and does the same things. It's really impressive, and he listens to everything he says, and I think that will stand him in good stead in the fight. It's going to be some really scary moments. I think Garifi, when he feels the strength of Zanet, I think he might come and have a fight initially, but I think he'll end up going on the retreat. But Zanet, has been, when I've been doing the pads with him and moving, he's been hunting me down well enough, and I think he'll have enough tools to do the job, but he might have to come through a few scary moments, and the winners are going to be the fans that will tune in to watch it on Box Nation, because it's nobody will want to be going making a cup of tea while that fight's on, because I think they're both going to go for it.
Now, looking at the undercard, the next fight down is a WBC youth title fight with Etetes of Sheffield. He's fighting a Mexican, which is always tough. What can we expect there?
Well, if you look how Etetes fight, he's a very, very big puncher. He always goes for the knockout, and needs to say, if you're fighting a Mexican, it's probably going to be a toe-to-toe exchange. So. But yeah, it's been slow progress for Adam, but it's just starting to take a little bit of take speed now, isn't it? To be honest, he's had a lot of fights. He's boxed a lot of different styles. He's had a few little small titles, under his belt that has helped him, improve. I think I'm just about ready to maybe let him off the leash now. I mean, there's talk about Chris Eubank Jr. That's a fight we can make. Probably all in good time. But he's very exciting to watch. He's a big, heavy puncher. He goes to the knockout. He's probably one of the most popular, kids that coming up through the rankings. When you look at the prospects coming through, there's not too many as exciting as Adam Etetes, and I think the fact he's been matched with a Mexican, will be a great fight. I can only see it being one way, and that's toe to toe, because that's all Adam does. And if he's fighting a Mexican, I think that's what it'll be.
Now, you've got a couple of your own kids further down the undercard as well. Adam Little's just come back from a hand injury. How's he progressing?
He's performing the best he's ever done, to be honest with you. You know, it's been very frustrating for Adam. You know, he had his hand injury, but you know, he's done me very, very proud in the sense he's not sulked about it. You know, he's kept in the gym. You know, he's kept working hard. He's kept in shape. You know, he's been working in other areas in which he can improve. He's actually moved down to Manchester full time now to train like a full-time professional, and the difference has been absolutely massive. And he had a fight a few weeks ago where he went 6 rounds. You know, and you know, no troubles with the hand. You know, and I think he's fighting Kevin McCauley. I think there's every chance, you know, that Adam could knock him out, but there's every chance he could get the 6 rounds anyway, which I think would be, from my point of view as his coach, would be better having 6 rounds under his belt with his hand, you know, and it basically gives me and Adam, you know, that little bit more confidence, you know, because it was a real career-threatening injury that he had, you know, but it's great to see him performing at the level that he's done. He's had 18 months out, but he's never been performing as good, and once he gets a little bit of ring rust out of the way and gets that confidence in the fist where he can let it go with all the venom he wants, then I think he won't be long before we'll start to look at titles for Adam.
I mean, he's mentioned potentially that he wants to win a sort of small title, like an area title, before the end of the year. Do you think that's realistic?
Yeah, it's realistic if we can get him a few regular fights. The main thing is you know, he has a few regular fights because he's making up for lost time in, you know, the last 18 months being on the sidelines. But if we can get him regular fights, and you know, the minute, you know, me and Adam can speak together and go, you know, yeah, that hand's back is better than it's ever been. It's back to normal now, and then we can start looking at that. You know, I'd like to think maybe, you know, another 6 rounder against McCauley, then maybe an 8 rounder, and then we'll start going from there before the end of the year. Maybe a Masters or a Central area. I think it would be a good stepping stone.
Now, the other kid that you've got on the bill further down is, I may not pronounce his name right, Koll Relik, I believe the name is. Most people won't know much about him. What can you tell us?
Very, very exciting fighter. Goes for the knockout, you know, always on the front foot. You know, 15 fights, 15 wins, 13 knockouts. You know, so you know, people are going to be really impressed by him. I've been training him now just only for a number of weeks, and you know, I think he's enjoying the training. You know what I mean? He's you know, he's a little bit disjointed, you know, at times, but I mean that's what makes him exciting. He goes for the knockout. Well, I think it's he's come over here, you know, living in Manchester again, away from his family, his friends, and his home surroundings, and it's not easy for it, you know. You know, it wasn't easy for Zan, and it wasn't easy for Sergey at first, but you know, over time, when they get used to me and my training methods and my way of training, and getting used to the lads that they're training with every day, he'll come out of his shell more, and believe you me, he'll improve. I mean, he's shown improvement, you know, in the last week, to be honest with you. Once he's got used to me, how I coach, my pad work, and you know what I want from him, and I think given a little bit more time over a period of months and even years, I think you know, there's another champion there. Yeah.
Now, lastly, this show this Saturday, Hatton Promotion's been ticking over quite well last couple of years, but was it fair to say this is the sort of first big show you've done really since your comeback?
Yeah, to be honest with you, you know, I've got I'm happy with the group of fighters I've got now, whether that I promote or train them, you know, and it's only a small group, but no, I'd like to do more big shows. I'd like to do more shows on television. You know, I always, you know, give value for money when I was fighting, and I think when I did have my TV dates for Sky, I don't think you could ask for more from my shows. I think they were always exciting fights, and no more so than this one. I think the fight with Zakian and Garifi is going to be an absolute war. Lucas Brown, excuse me, and his opponent, you know, with a knockout percentage in him, that's going to be exciting. Adam Etetes, who always goes out for the knockout. I mean, I'm very proud of the show that I put on Saturday, and I think anyone who tunes in on Box Nation Saturday, I don't think they'll be disappointed. And hopefully, you know, it's the first show of many more to come on the TV.
Excellent. Well, we'll look forward to a cracker.